real quick, that was a really efficient way to handle that.
Oh, thanks. That's kind of you to say.
See, that response works perfectly.
It does? I almost said it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, don't do that here.
Why not? Isn't that being humble?
In American culture, it sounds like you're rejecting the compliment.
So Americans actually expect you to accept it.
Exactly. A compliment is just kindness, not pressure.
Okay, what about this one? You nailed it.
Classic American compliment.
Best response?
Thanks, or I appreciate that.
Not, I got lucky.
Definitely not.
All right, let me try giving one. Sam, you explained that really clearly.
Thank you. I'm glad it made sense.
Wow, that sounded confident.
That's the point.
Now let's talk about awkward compliments. Like, you speak English really well for a beginner.
Ah, the backhanded compliment.
So what's the American way to respond?
Keep it calm. Say, thanks, or I've been practicing.
No arguing?
Never. Americans avoid tension in small talk.
Switching topics, quick grammar question. Why does everyone say I'm good instead of I'm well?
Because I'm good is casual. It's what people actually say.
Even though I'm well is more correct?
Yep. I'm well sounds formal or medical.
So if someone asks, how are you?
You say, I'm good, thanks.
Or if they ask, want more coffee?
I'm good.
Got it. Last scenario.
Okay.
You look really good today.
Thank you.
That's it? No?
That's it. Simple, natural, American.
So the rule is...
Don't fight compliments. Exactly. Accept them and move on. Okay, before we continue, let me ask you something honestly.
All right.
When someone compliments you, what do you feel first?
Awkward. Like, I don't know what to do with it.
That reaction is super common, especially if you didn't grow up around American culture.
Yeah, because where I'm from, if you accept a compliment too easily, people think you're arrogant.
Right, but in American English, confidence and arrogance are two very different things.
Explain that.
Confidence is saying, thank you. Arrogance is saying, I know, I'm amazing.
That actually makes sense.
So let's look at a real situation. Someone at work says, that was so efficient.
I'd usually reply, oh, it wasn't perfect.
And that's exactly what Americans don't expect.
Why though?
Because now the conversation shifts from positivity to correction. You turned a compliment into a mini argument.
Wow, I never thought about it like that.
In the US, compliments are conversational glue. They keep interactions smooth.
So the best response is just, thanks.
Yes, short, calm, confident.
What about adding something like, I appreciate it?
That's even better, especially in professional settings.
Okay, new example. Someone says, you nailed it.
Very American.
Can I say, thanks, I tried my best?
Perfect. That sounds natural and grounded.
So effort-based responses are okay.
Absolutely. Americans respect effort.
All right, now let's talk about compliments that feel weird.
Ah, backhanded compliments.
Like, you're surprisingly good at this.
Exactly.
That doesn't feel great.
No, but here's the key. Americans usually don't confront it directly.
So what do?
They keep their response neutral.
For example?
Just say, thanks, or I've been working on it.
Even if the compliment feels slightly insulting?
Yes, because social harmony is more important in small talk.
So sarcasm is a bad idea.
Very bad idea, unless you're close friends.
Okay, switching gears, why do Americans give so many small compliments?
Because they're not always deep or emotional. Sometimes they're just conversational tools.
Like saying, nice shirt.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean they want a long explanation.
Right. They want a smooth, friendly response.
So saying thanks and moving on is ideal.
Yes.
Let's talk about self-image for a second. Why does rejecting compliments feel so normal to some people?
Because they were taught humility through self-denial.
But in American, humility is shown differently.
Exactly. Here, humility is calm acceptance.
That's a big mindset shift.
It is, and it takes practice.
All right, grammar time. I'm good versus I'm well.
Classic question.
Technically, I'm well is correct, right?
Yes, but spoken American English doesn't follow grammar books strictly.
So I'm good is just normal,
Very normal.
even in professional environments?
Yes, unless it's extremely formal.
So if my boss asks, "How are you?"
I'm good, thanks. Totally fine.
What about emails?
Emails are different. You might say, I'm doing well.
So spoken versus written matters.
A lot.
What about when someone offers something?
That's where I'm good is everywhere.
Like, want more coffee?
I'm good.
Not, I'm well.
Never.
That would sound strange?
Very strange.
All right, role play time.
Let's do it.
Alex, your explanation was really clear.
Thank you. I'm glad it helped.
That sounded natural.
Because it was honest and simple.
Okay, my turn to accept one. Jordan, you handled that situation really well.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Perfect. I didn't feel awkward that time.
That's the goal.
So if we had to summarize this whole episode in one rule,
Here it is. Don't fight compliments.
accept them and move on.
Exactly. Because in American English, a compliment isn't a test.
It's just kindness.
And kindness doesn't need defending.